Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hypnosis Hero. Really glad that you're here watching with us, listening with us. As you know, each week, well, if you're a regular listener, me and the other Hypnosis Heroes, Brian Bay and Shawn Kostiuk, Captain, we come on every couple of weeks. Actually, it's the second and fourth Monday of the month at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, we always bring on a guest hypnotist. Now, before we get to that, I'm going to bring on my good friend, Brian Bay. But actually, before I do that, we'll bring him on. Go ahead and bring him on, Shawn, Captain. We got Brian Bay here. But before we do that, I want to let everybody know we are going to be talking to our guest hypnotist for about 25, 30 minutes, maybe as long as 45 minutes. Then we will jump into some hypnosis live through the screen. That's right. You will get hypnotized through the screen. It's super fun. And we have a giveaway at the end of the show. We will be giving away this episode's new merch, brand new merch created just for you fine people. Everyone, please, without further delay, give us a big round of applause for Mr. Brian Bay. Brian Bay, welcome to the show.
Jim, how are you doing this evening? I want to apologize to everybody for showing up in radio mode. I cracked open a laptop that's got the webcam, and Google Chrome is not wanting to play nice. So we're trying to work through the problem as we get going. But yeah, man, how's your week been?
Let me think. How's it been this week? Actually, it's been pretty damn good. There was something I was going to talk about. What was it? I was excited about something. Really, things are just going fantastic. What was it?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll shift and then as soon as we do and get it into the next part of it, all of a sudden it's just going to jump out and slap you in the face. But I see you're back in your speakeasy background and the International Man of Mystery.
It's true. Oh, you know what? Hey, let me give a shout out to these guys. Even though they're not giving me any money, maybe they will after this. Panera. I don't know if you have do you know where the Panera is around you, Brian?
Well, that's at the fancy sandwich shop, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But
it's like this. It's like the Starbucks of the Subway world.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what. Here's what's cool.
If Quiznos isn't bougie enough for you, and Jimmy John's is just like lightning fast.
Exactly. If you'd like to pay twice as much and get half as much, head over there. Here's what I love about them. They've got this deal. It's called the Sip Club. And so, since I spend a lot of time at coffee shops anyway, because I don't like working at home, because then I get distracted by the kitty cats and salami sandwiches and things like that. So I go out to the coffee shops. They have this thing called Sip Club. It's $10 a month, unlimited drinks, guys. Unlimited drinks. And boy, I get a lot of drinks in. Coffee, tea, soda. I love it.
Jim, if you start hearing me begin cursing like I've got like the most horrible case of Tourette's, it's because when you X out of a window and it just pops right back up like, hey, sign into this account that you don't have access to anymore. And I'm like, I don't want to, hashtag Brian too, but on the tech world. Just
nice. Well, hey, everybody who's watching right now, please give us a thumbs up. Tell us where you're at. It's always fun to see where we're watching from. This is interesting. We've got never mind. It's a technical issue. We won't even address this right now. Now I do know what I was excited about. So, Brian, I don't know if you know this, but Shawn, our captain, the producer, the guy that sits in the basement running everything, he actually has a TikTok show that he runs. He has a TikTok account, of course, but he also has a TikTok show that he goes live on every Sunday morning with Chanel Fellinger, who has been on the show. I believe she's been on the show before. Am I right? Yeah, Chanel was on, right? Do you remember, Brian? Shawn will know.
Oh, anyway, Shawn will know. I'm about to just absolutely become unglued and unhinged. And
So I've got, well,
I mean, it's like practically going, I'm just going to keep popping up until you agree that pineapple goes on pizza. And like, I feel like I'm being like an electronic prisoner of war of tech. It's horrible, and it's making my Agent Orange act up.
you you throw that computer right out the window, Brian. It is.
I am going to Hulk this thing onto the 405 freeway, and I'm probably about a good 500 yards from, well, actually I-5.
Well, so here's the thing. So here's a problem that I'm having is I can't remember who's been on the show, and so because I've done, and so I actually invited Casey Pico last month. I said, "Hey, come on, you should be on the show," and she's like, "That's great. I'd love to be on again." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, what? Oh, shoot, we shouldn't have you on again."
Wait, you've got more than one show. So she may not have been on Hypnosis Hero, because the first time I met her was at the conference in Vegas. So I don't think we've ever had her on the show. She had to have been on like Exploring Awesome or one of your other ones with Grant or.
Now, see, you're just as bad as I am, because actually I know she was on. Shawn will be able to confirm this because Shawn knows everything. But I just had a reshare. That episode was shared again because I reposted it. So she's definitely been on Hypnosis Hero.
Unless we've had a show where I was absent.
Okay, maybe that was it. Yeah, Shawn.
I was dead at the time, Jim.
Shawn confirms that yes, she was on 8 to 9 months ago. So and there's something interesting going on for some reason. So it looks like our guest was able to get. It looks like I thought that he was able to set up his Facebook, but then it keeps posting stuff that the captain is saying. So anyway, I don't know what's going on there, but who cares? Hey, if you're watching, please let us know if you'd like to win a prize. Oh, and actually, I think we're supposed to show the prize so people can get excited about it. So and then I forget these things. I should write all this down. And then we will give the thing away later. But so if you'd like to be eligible for the prize, please do use when you comment, use the hashtag Hypnosis Hero. So hashtag Hypnosis Hero. Vinny, good to see you watching. He's of course been on the show before. Without further ado, let's bring on Shawn so we don't have to do any more thinking. We'll let him do the thinking for us. Shawn Kostiuk, welcome, Captain.
All right. Yes, both of them.
Shawn, you look the way the look on your face completely explains everything that I'm feeling right now.
So for those of you that don't know, we have a number of lists that I make for Jim and Brian and Jim and Grant.
Yeah.
You know, most recently, I think we converted all the time zones, so we now have everything back in sync as to who's available when and at what time and so on and so forth, because apparently in the UK they do things differently and at different times. Go figure. So, yeah. But we'll make a list. Chanel was on about 8 or 9 months ago. Yeah. Casey was on about 2 months ago.
Thank God you're here, Shawn. That's all I can say. Thank God you're here. And you know, here's the thing. If you think I'm bad, look at this. I mean, Grant actually has, somebody bought him a thing that has 4 time zones. He can have, and it sits on his desk and he still gets the time zones wrong all the time.
That's why I sent him the list.
Good. Shawn, tell the people about your show that you do on TikTok, if you will.
Yeah. So Chanel and I, not exactly sure how we met. I think maybe I reached out to her on TikTok just to say, hey, you know, saw your stuff. It looks great. If you want to collaborate, let me know. She was a little hesitant to write back because, of course, on TikTok, they really want you to have that 1,000 follower fulfillment so that you can go live and whatnot. But I said, well, you don't need it. I've already got 1,000. And as Jim knows, my very first video went crazily wild. And if I had to live COVID all over again, I probably would have pushed it a little bit harder. But there is about 416,000 views on it. So and really, it was just me swinging a watch, saying, we can help you with a bunch of different things. So from there, of course, I was able to go live very quickly. I gathered up some followers fairly quickly, and when she said, "Yeah, let's try it," so we tried it, and actually, we just celebrated a year and a month. I think she was kind of keeping tabs on when we actually started. So we've been doing it Sunday mornings as often as we can. It's a little more often now that she's settled into her new place. We start at about 9 o'clock my time, which is, I believe, 10 o'clock Eastern. And we go about an hour and a half. And it's always interesting who drops by. Some guy named Jim Kellner dropped by last Sunday. So we had a good 20-minute chat there. Vinny's, of course, has been on there a couple of times. Chuck DeBroder from Texas, another hypnotist that was also a weatherman at one point. So that's an interesting mix. And we sit there, we talk about hypnosis, and we have people ask us questions, and that's the show. And it's really just not just to get us out there, but it's to get the fact that hypnosis isn't what the media says out there.
Definitely. And Shawn is incredibly knowledgeable. You guys, he really was. It was great to listen to him and chat with him and Chanel for a few minutes. He's incredibly knowledgeable about hypnosis. Go follow him on TikTok. You put the link in there, right, Shawn?
I will do that right now.
It's probably SK Hypnosis, right?
It's I try to brand everything exactly the same, and I came close. The only one that's different for me is Facebook. Apparently, there's already an SK Hypnosis in Montreal, so it wasn't quite sucked into the center of the universe of Toronto, but that's close enough.
So at SK Hypnosis, go follow him. He's got good stuff. He's also got some shows coming up. We'll talk about those when those are all cemented in. All right. I don't want to distract from our guests, so let's go ahead and show what's available for your prize this week. And so when he comes on, we can give him our full attention. Everybody get ready. A brand new merch going to be available. All you have to do to be entered to win, is to make a comment and then put hashtag Hypnosis Hero. Hey, Becca. So hashtag, it's all one word, hashtag Hypnosis Hero. At the end of the show, we'll do a drawing, and you could win a very fabulous prize. I also want to let anybody, if you're a hypnotist or an entrepreneur, anybody out there, you want to put your TikTok, your website, whatever, please do that. Vinny, please drop your details below so people can find you. All right, get ready. Here is the brand new merch available. And let's see. Wish Shawn could do this part, but I don't think he can do this part. And let's see. There it is. Show it on the stream. That's right. We've got mugs now. Damn, I'm pretty mugs. Black mugs with Damn, I'm pretty. You've got just straight red. You've got red with a circle, and you've got pink. Shawn will drop. Can you drop the link in the what do you call it? The regular chat, so folks can go get a better look. The look here, you can't really get a good look at it. Go check it out. Go see what you're going to win. When you use the hashtag, remember it's one word, hashtag, make a comment, hashtag Hypnosis Hero. Sophia Lopez says, awesome, nice. That's right, you could win it. And now let's get on to the man of the hour who, wait, is he still here? He's still here. Okay. Wow. Whew. Good. Things are so complicated, man.
We're all good. Just relax.
Okay. It's all right. Good. I got to stop sharing. That's the problem. Okay. Without further ado, let's bring him on now. This guy, I got to know him especially at the Performing Hypnosis Summit. He's been a mentalist for years, but he's recently switched to doing comedy hypnosis shows. That's his new passion. Really, really great guy. He does a lot of shows, and interestingly, he's an attorney. He's a lawyer. I just found out recently that there's a difference between an attorney and a lawyer. So let's check with him and make sure we get it right. At least in some jurisdictions. Not sure exactly.
Yeah, I have questions.
You have questions. All right. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring him on. Mr. Judge Mentalist. Welcome to the show, Judge.
Hey, thanks for having me. Long time no see.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Yes. Well, let's be clear. I do want to clarify one thing before we get any misconceptions out there. I'm not actually a judge. That is a stage name. But as Jim said, I am an attorney or a lawyer, at least for what in Maryland, where I'm licensed, there is no difference other than the spelling. Okay. You may be talking about the UK, where there's a difference between a barrister and a solicitor. I can't tell you what the difference is, but there absolutely is a difference.
Grant can probably tell us because he's probably got both, and a doctor.
So yeah. So I'm. That's what I do during the day. I am an attorney. I run a practice. Basically, if you're in the U.S. and you're familiar with East Coast geography, if you were to draw a line between Baltimore and Philadelphia and then cut that line exactly in half, I'm in a little town called Elkton. And so I practice law during the day. I do hypnosis shows now, evenings, weekends, other times, because I book stuff on the road. So like 2 weeks ago, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. Later this year, I'll be in Rochester, New York, which is a little exciting for me because I went to undergrad there, and I don't know that I've been back to Rochester since. So that's kind of cool. So it's a lot of fun. And as you mentioned, I was doing mentalism all over the place for a number of years until I linked up with Kevin Lapine and spent a week or so with him out in Las Vegas, where he has his stage show. I learned stage hypnosis and absolutely fell in love. When I left Las Vegas, I knew that I was going to do this. This was going to be my new thing. At the time, a colleague of mine and I were putting together this 2-act mentalism show called Between Two Minds. And the original plan was that it was going to be, an hour and a half show. We would do some sort of duo routine as an opener. We would swap spots for solo routines. We would probably, if we did a show that was long enough for an intermission, we would do a duo routine around the intermission time, and then we'd close out the show with a duo routine. And after spending that week or so with Kevin in Las Vegas, I picked up the phone before I was even coming back, being like, bro, hold the phone. Because we had scheduled but hadn't performed our first show under that name yet. I said, hold the phone. We're gonna tweak this slightly. It's gonna be a 2-act show. You're gonna open the show. You're gonna do 45 minutes of mind reading. We're gonna take an intermission. We're gonna reset the stage, and then I'm gonna do 45 minutes of stage hypnosis. About a little over a month after I had learned literally from scratch. So before that, I had zero experience with hypnosis, interest, curiosity, but no experience. And in fact, in the weeks and months leading up to going to train with Kevin, I said, hey, what should I be reading? And he said, don't read anything. If you start reading stuff and you read the wrong stuff, you're going to show up with a bag full of magnets and all sorts of other hokey shit from, the prehistoric times. And you don't need that. Like he starts his program. The better part of the first day is on safety and ethics. And then you take the week building a show. We have the class in his showroom. So we learn a piece. There's only 4 people in the class. And then he hands a microphone to you and says, get up on stage and do it. And then each night during that week, one of the students is on stage doing routines. one of the students volunteers with him. So a little over a month after learning this from absolute scratch, we roll out, we do it. And I will tell you, that first moment right after the induction and that first routine where I just knew, oh yeah, we are just locked in and ready to go, that there would be no turning back. Because one of the first routines, or one of the things that's in my show still, is napkins or $100 bills. It's a great thing to be able to run through the show and have reasons to give people stuff and keep it interactive all throughout. That I still have burned into my mind that first moment and the look on people's face of tossing those napkins in the air, having their arms reach out, their eyes light up, and it's like a high I'll be chasing probably for the rest of my life. And at that point in time, I was like, nope, this is it. I had some other mentalism shows on the books, which I've done. I still get inquiries and get booked for mentalism shows, but I've retooled most of the routines that I do so that I can stick with the character being a hypnotist. So I will do things, and I'll make jokes, and they work out well from me being an attorney who deals with insurance all the time, to say, hey, look, I normally do hypnosis shows, but these guys just might not be insured for it. They asked me not to tonight. So I'm going to use my powers of suggestion and influence and show you what it might look like if I were actually hypnotizing people. And then I retool a lot of the routines that I do. But if I have the choice, we're setting up a row of chairs on stage and having a good time. So I will use any excuse that I possibly have to twist somebody into, well, why don't we do this? This is far more interactive, which is almost a lie, because my mentalism show is very interactive. But nothing, for anybody who knows and has done these shows before, and I don't know who we have watching out here, but anybody who's done these shows before and has done other performance, there's nothing, absolutely nothing like it. Anybody out there, and I met a lot of the people that fit into this category at the Performing Hypnosis Summit. Anybody out there who has learned to do this and has not done your first show, just go do it. Like, you'll thank me later. It's really the best thing. And part of it is obviously for all intents and purposes, you're performing miracles on stage for people. And the element that really strikes a chord with me is, even in the stage world, like, secretly I'm an introvert, and out in public I play this part of an extrovert. So the ability for me to perform on stage in a way that's not like me, look at me, I'm going to set the stage here. I'm going to set the table, and then I'm going to say, hey, look at these people. They are the stars of tonight's show. In my core, it's where I want to be. It's where I need to be.
Let me just jump in there real quick, Joe Beth, because you just said something really interesting, that you're an introvert, and I am too. I'm very much an introvert. In fact, there was a time in my life I couldn't imagine going up on stage. It was terrifying for me. And I remember I talked to a friend, but what it takes is you just keep doing it, and it gets easier. Maybe you create a persona. I remember I ran into a friend who had done some training, and I knew he had done a show, and I asked him about it. He goes, well, I'm not doing any more of those. He goes, I'm not like you guys. He goes, I was scared. I'm like, what? Yeah, join the club. When the first few times on stage, I think all of us are scared. But it's just the ability to fight through that. So please don't let that stop you guys. If that's your, whatever is getting in your way, it doesn't have to get in your way.
It's so true. And the funny part about it is that coming from learning, because I lived on the East Coast and learned in Las Vegas. So it was just me out there. And when I came home, I'm there with my wife and my mother-in-law, who are at this first show. And they come up to me afterwards and they're like, man, we didn't know going into this what we were going to do. We were literally sitting out there being like, if this doesn't work, do we leave to the left or do we leave to the right? And I was like, you realize that you were absolutely like, Kobayashi Maru. Okay. You were in a no win scenario, because either A, you were going to have to make that decision, or B, what happened is it worked and now you're stuck. You're stuck with me doing this shit, and you know damn well I'm going to be hopping on airplanes, going all over the place, booking the schedule as solid as my, career, my primary career will allow me to do so, and have done absolutely that every day since. I mean, I haven't been on the road every day since, but every opportunity that's reasonable for me to go and do a show wherever it might be, I'm in. Let's go. And even furthermore, and one of the things that, because we've continued to do this Between Two Minds show, we've really made it kind of a thing where our goal is to do fundraiser shows, whether it's for nonprofits or school groups or other causes. I'd say more than half of our shows in that format are for a fundraiser, and we do it in a way where, it's a split of the fee. We cap that fee. So if it's a great group that could sell out a huge room, they're going to make a lot of money, and we're going to get paid what we signed up to get paid, but they're going to make 10 times, well, not 10 times more, but substantially more than us. And if I never, for the rest of my career, and if I continue to do this until I shoved off into wherever's next, if I never did another show that wasn't set up that way, where there was some cause getting some sort of benefit for me to go out there and perform this art, I would be exceptionally happy with it. So anybody who doesn't want to do that kind of work but gets those kind of inquiries, just look me up. I'll take the show. I'll work for the cause.
Absolutely. Hey, Shawn, Brian, are you guys, what about you? Introverts, extroverts? Was it scary when you got on stage at first? What was that like?
Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say I was kind of nervous. Like I didn't want to screw anything up because, well, Jim, it was your show that I was doing a guest spot on. So, there's sort of a self-preservation thing here. But I remember it's like once you get over the, hey, I'm on stage and those lights are really bright and you can't see hardly any of the audience. And then you just sort of go into it. And it's like the first time something works, you're like, okay, God, there's so much stuff to think about. You're like, okay, the microphone cord, don't trip over this, face the audience, don't turn your back to them. And the stage that we were on was so tiny. Like, okay, please don't have the guests, the subjects, the volunteers, don't fall off the stage, please. And then there's just too much crap to go through your head to really be scared. It's just, all right, as long as nobody dies and nobody gets hurt, you're going to be fine. And then afterwards, it was just too much fun. But I do have a question for you. I'm not sure what the statute of limitations are, or if there's any sort of amnesty that we have on the show, but how much of the mentalism and some even like NLP have you used either on opposing counsel, judges in the courtroom, or even insurance adjusters? And how can I talk to you more on that?
I think you know how to get in touch with me. And what I will say is that every word, just like whether you are doing a hypnosis show or you are just, every word you say matters. And there are different ways to say things that are more impactful than others. I will say that in my jurisdiction, I may or may not have the 3 highest jury verdicts for the type of work that I do in the past decade. Until the next one, and then I'll have the 4 highest.
Oh, nice.
I don't hypnotize members of the jury. I don't put them into trance. That much I will say.
Would you be willing to co-counsel a case out here that I've got? It's the adjusters are being a complete pain in the ass.
We definitely need to link up, because I will tell you, totally happy to go off on this tangent. Pull the ripcord when you me to just rein it in. But I am
Oklahoma, Irene, pineapple.
I am happy.
Pineapple's already in the chat. Collins here.
Yeah, let's do a shout out real quick before you go on that tangent. So Becca, no, actually, that's a question. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll come back to those.
I see the question. I have learned by putting in my 2 cents, by linking this up with my Facebook to stream it there as well, that if I type something into this chat box, it's going to show up 6 times from every other entity. So I don't touch the keyboard now. I've learned that lesson. I would, if you do where you are, and you're what, in Washington, Seattle, Brian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you do this type of work, there's nothing that would please me more than to powwow with you and talk to you about the game that I play and the game within the game, and really setting the table before we even file a lawsuit. There is a lot of strategy to it that just frames things in a way that you will see some of the similarities of how we set the stage with what we do on stage as hypnotists.
It's like what's the professional way to sit there and tell an adjuster, like, come on, you're stop being a prick. You're not playing with you're playing with house money, not your own personal savings account. Just pay the damn claim. And why do we have to keep dicking around for 18 months now?
Well, that's a direct suggestion, Brian.
I will say that sometimes it takes being that guy in your jurisdiction who has the top 3 jury verdicts in the past 10 years to basically be able to be like, look,
like financially, we're going to hit you with a bat. In the metaphorical sense, like this is not going to go well if we go to court.
I have had the conversation within the past week with an insurance adjuster where I've said, look, we have rang the bell on worse cases than this. Do you want yours to be the next one? Because if so, just say the word. Otherwise, you have 2 weeks until we file the lawsuit.
Do you want to be Jake Paul when Mike Tyson just like knocks him from YouTube to Rumble? I mean,
it's the other thing is, there, like I said, there is a game within that game, but you have to be ready and have the goods for if somebody decides that they want to call your bluff. And, so you can't, there's a lot of attorneys out there that I've observed that, man, this really isn't the conversation that we were going to have here, but that's okay. I have virtually unlimited time. So if you guys do, we'll just go as far as you want.
And we're not on retainer. So this is amazing.
Exactly.
This is the pro bonus stuff.
Exactly. There are
2 more minutes on this, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, there are definitely attorneys out there that will talk the talk, but will not walk the walk. And that catches up with you real quick. So, being able to have the goods and know that, hey, we could try this case if we need to, inevitably, depending on the volume of work that you handle, my office handles about 300 of these cases a year. We only try about 2 of them in a year, maybe 3 at the most. And it's a matter of being what television and the media tells you that defense firms are, that they are going to run the clock, that they are going to spend more money, that they've got a war chest that's never ending. And what we have learned in the past 18 months of insurance rates going up through the roof is that they no longer have it. And if you can be the aggressor, if you can be the bad guy with the quote unquote war chest, you flip the script and you play the game on your terms. And a lot of it is knowing which insurance companies play and what their playbooks are, which is something that I've spent years and years putting together. But that's not what we're here for. So let's table that. Let's talk offline.
Definitely, we're going to talk more. So I guess kind of to take the ADD back out of the show and right the ship back on course. Have you ever had to use any type of hypnosis or type of a mentalism to either keep clients calm? Because I know, like in the personal injury world, clients are like, well, I'm done treating. It's my money. I want it now. Like, when is this going to be done? And they get all anxious, or I'm bored. Why can't this be over now? Or even in the criminal defense side. Oh my God, the fear of the unknown. Have you ever used that to kind of just calm some people down?
I think I haven't actually used hypnosis in those sense, not in a sense of, putting somebody into trance and, for lack of a better term, rewiring their perception. But certainly, again, early in my career, which was the only time that I was ever actually doing any criminal defense work, it definitely was from a how I approach this sort of mentality. Because as you know, you can give people choices that are not choices. They sound like choices, but they're not choices. And there's a lot of that.
It's kind of like, look, you could go get your ass kicked in court and, not drop the soap in prison, or we could maybe explore some of these deals that are on the table and work something out.
Yeah. And a lot of it is being able to put the reality of the risk assessment into people's laps, and you get to pick and choose how you frame that. I can get clients who I want at a high success rate. This is not, infallible, but at a high success rate, if I have a client who I think is going to be a good witness throughout the process, and who has a great case, to power forward and let me take over and push this thing as far as it'll go. On the other hand, if I've got a client that I don't want in front of a jury, I can get them to get this thing to the finish line without risking themselves, because a lot of the process, a lot of the questions that get asked along the way are not about the answers to the question. They're there to size up your client for an insurance company or their attorney who are meeting your client for the very first time. And sometimes you get those clients where you don't want them meeting the other side. And, knowing when and how to pull the ripcord and guide this thing down softly to the ground is also important.
That's communication, right? And that's a large part of what hypnosis is communication.
Shawn, how about you, Shawn? What was your experience like? Were you an introvert, extrovert? What was your first show like? First few shows?
My first shows were fine. One was in front of friends and actually involved the friends, so worked out quite well for me, not so much for my friends. They couldn't believe how easily they went and how deep they went. First show was last year in June, and you can have those stage nerves, but I've also been the guy that stands in front of 68 teachers that are upset that their mice aren't working because we happen to glue the mouse ball cage shut because the kids used to steal all the mouse balls and use them as slingshot ammunition. So and the mice aren't working now because we told them not to eat at their desk, but they eat at their desk, and food gets in them. After you go through 45 minutes of being bombarded by stuff like that, being on stage is nothing, because the crowd is there to see something entertaining, and like you said right off the bat, you set the table, and there's the meal.
And this is the thing that I think that sometimes entertainers you might forget is that they're not your adversaries. They want you to win. They want you to be successful because they came there wanting to be entertained. Let's take a couple of let's do a couple of shout outs here. We're going to come back to Becca's question. So Carol says her first few shows were scary. Colin Pineapple, of course, mumbling weirdly, obviously mentally demented with pineapple pizza on his breath. So Colin really gives you a shout out. Joe Best says that working with you on the comedy side has been fantastic. I think the winning comment tonight, too bad it didn't have Hypnosis Hero tagged. Brian, you are looking really good on camera this evening. I agree completely.
Scott, you're killing me, Smalls.
Do you have any court-based skits in your show, Judge?
I haven't rolled any out yet. As Colin mentioned with the collaboration, he and I have thrown some ideas around. So there are some in the works. I would say that certainly by the time I'm doing a 5-show run in Rochester, New York at their Fringe Festival in September. And because of time restrictions on Fringe festivals, my stage partner and I have split the show. So this is actually going to be probably one of the first public ticketed solo shows I've done, and I had to give it a name and everything. So the solo show is actually going to be called The Court of the Mind. So
Oh,
I
cool.
need to get that stuff up and going before I do that show. So while there aren't any there yet, there will be relatively soon. And my hope is to have that whole thing tailored to the point where it really has more of a courtroom type of feel.
Nice. Just want to remind everybody, if you want to win a Damn I'm Pretty mug tonight, just comment with the hashtag Hypnosis Hero. We'll do a drawing at the end. Hypnosis Hero, hashtag Hypnosis Hero. So we've got a question here from Becca Rose. Always good to see you, Becca. She gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the show. God bless her.
1 a.m.
Okay,
we
1
moved
a.m.
we moved it earlier.
Oh, that's right. Becca says that I have always found mentalists pretty cool. Have you seen the type of things Darren Brown has done? Obviously, he's heard of him. What do you think about? Do you do any of that kind of stuff, Judge?
In my when I was doing mentalism shows, I would do very similar types of routines. Everything down to having those big illustrious reveals at the end where all the time this has been sitting here in plain view and it's going to, we're going to open it up here and I'm not going to touch it. And somebody from the audience is going to read where that thing says everything that happened in tonight's show, even though that's been there the whole time. Mm-hmm. Those things make no practical sense, but I love them and I do them all the time, or used to do them all the time because I've been pretty set into the hypnosis lane for the better part of the past year. Like I said, there have been a smattering of other occasions where for whatever reason I couldn't do a hypnosis show or I was already booked to do the mentalism show. The good thing about both is that you're interacting with people, and one of the things that I love when things go off the rails. Or at least where they seem like they're going to go off the rails, whether or not that is you having a crazy volunteer that tells you that you're shitting on them. That was Colin the other night. Or just I in my mentalism show, I've had stuff where like I literally like 2 years ago did this show where, I mean, if I were to ask you right now to think of a capital city in Europe, there's probably more of you in this chat right now without any sort of prompt that's going to come up with the city that I was hoping that this person would come up with. And they were starting with a letter. It had to start with a specific letter. And nobody knew that I knew what that letter was. I'm peeling a little bit back more than I normally would here, but I think we're all friends here, so it's okay. And this whole thing was just like, I don't know, can I phone a friend? And I'm like, we're on stage. What are you talking about? And she had a friend that was in the front row. She's like, can I just go out there and consult with her? Now goes off the stage. Now, this is a show that was a fundraiser show at a Moose Lodge. So it was a dual headliner show and I was going second. So everybody was already half in the bag in the room. And I love these crowds because these are the most fun people to interact with. Some people that are stage performers are scared of drunk people and don't want to deal with drunk people and they want these little hostile crowds. I'm like, no, bring me the fire, bring me the fury. Let's go. So she talks to her friend, they're stumped. They then consult with the boyfriend and finally come up with something. And it just gave me this moment midway through my show to turn to the audience and be like, do you see this right now? Now, normally my most sincere hope is that you guys will give me a standing ovation at the end of the show. If there's any way at all that what she's thinking is reflected in what I've written here, I'm going to give you guys all permission to just get on your feet right now. And we're just midway through the show. Everything went well. This lady had me sign this thing. She nicknamed herself. She said, "Can you sign that for me?" And this was on stage in the middle of the show. "Can you sign that for me to Trainwreck with love?" She nicknamed herself Trainwreck in the middle of this show. And
I think Brian dated her.
This, I think at some point in time we all
that hurts, Jimmy.
But like I've run into her publicly at different places because this was within like about a half an hour of where I live, and I will always refer to this person as Trainwreck, and she takes it with a smile. She absolutely, it's a term of endearment now if I ever run into her. And the only thing that I now like, my hope is that she shows up at one of my hypnosis shows and volunteers, because that, she's gonna be great. She's gonna be legendary.
Nice.
She's just got to get herself up on that stage.
I'm dying to know, mental. So, what came first? The interest in entertainment type stuff? Were you into magic when you were a kid, or the law stuff?
No, I've been a lawyer for a lot longer. It was. I want to say that I've been learning about magic and mystery arts since like 2017. I had a little bit of downtime in the early months of 2020 to really like dig in and study a lot. And then I just, I came out of that really just raring and ready to go. I was doing mentalism shows all the time, all over the place, kind of like what I'm trying to do with the hypnosis. And, it was until, like I said, it was that was kind of full steam, and I really enjoyed doing it, but God, I love hypnosis so much more. Like it's not even close. And, but it's not, there are many, many, many foundational skills that I learned through that, and presentational skills, and really just, how to put things together on stage that probably made me jumping right into that first show right away a lot more of a smooth transition. And it's kind of it's a weird juxtaposition between the two types of shows, because if you hire me to do a mentalism show, rest assured everything I tell you that I'm doing on stage is a bold-faced lie. Whereas if you hire me to do a stage hypnosis show, everything that I tell you that I'm doing on stage is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, so it's a weird difference. And, the secret versus the, hey, you want to talk about this? You want to talk about what it is? You want to talk about what it isn't? Let's sit down. Let's have that conversation. Whereas the, if Becca's question had turned into how does Darren Brown do this, I'm going to dodge the answer to that question. Well, look, there's that question. How does reading somebody's mind and all that mentalist stuff work?
You never ask a magician.
Apparently, I can read your mind. I knew the question was coming. I didn't even see it in the chat till it popped up. So, does that answer your question in a dodgy enough way for me to not give you the secrets? Of course.
And sleep. You guys amaze me. So the mentalist people, so of all the entertainment out there, you guys amaze me, because I feel like there's so much thinking involved and remembering, because I've had a couple of friends that were like, hey, let me teach you a couple of mentalism things in case, you need to warm up the crowd or something. And they'll start talking, and my eyes immediately glaze over, and I'm like, just stop. That's way too much. That's just too much for me. I like hypnosis. It's easy. I just go, blah, 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 sleep. And it works. Did you find it challenging to learn it all? Am I just slow? Probably.
So I think that you can find mentalism routines to be as straightforward or as challenging as you accidentally choose them to be. And because I like it fast and loose, when I was doing mentalism, or if I were doing mentalism tonight or tomorrow or whatever, I would choose routines that I have either done enough that they're basically on autopilot, or are simplistic enough that I'm not thinking about that. And I'm here and I'm in the room and I'm trying to create moments. And, moments that will never be repeated. If I do the exact same show 100 more times, that moment with Trainwreck will never happen again. And, the fun thing is when you find a moment that you think that you can recreate. I have this Russian roulette style staple gun routine where I have 4 staple guns on stage. If you saw my,
you did that in Vegas.
Yes, if you saw my performing hypnosis talk, you've seen this. And I as far as the routine itself is concerned, I've got it so much so on autopilot that I can focus now on the way that I say things. So what happens is basically 4 staple guns are up there. The current version that I do, 3 of them are empty and 1 of them is filled with staples. Nobody knows which one is which. I have 5 volunteers total that come up on stage. One of them is the one that I do a pseudo hypnosis quasi induction with them. And I give them this, quote, light suggestion, as I call it on stage, that you will make the right choices. You will make good decisions. You'll be confident in those decisions. And then that person chooses which of the other 4 people gets which of the staple guns. Again, nobody knows which one's got the staples in. Nobody knows which ones.
But in reality, it's just to go and reassure the person, no, you're not going to drive a Jesus nail into my forehead or anything like that.
It's not even that. It's all just hooey so that I can retool the routine to be a hypnotist. And it's all lipstick on a pig, really, the whole quasi hypnosis thing. So then there are.
I can just see you out there like Ace Ventura. All righty then.
Then there are envelopes that have instructions on them inside of the envelope, so nobody sees which one's which. Those are passed out by my volunteer to the other 4 people, which tells them whether or not they are going to fire that staple gun into this big wooden board or whether they're going to fire that staple gun into my body. And the first person that has one that's going to go into my body, they come up and say, okay, we're going to do a countdown from 3, 2, 1, and then they pull the staple gun. They have the envelope between the gun and my hand, and then shortly after it falls to the ground, and then there's a little applause. Then the second person with one that's going into my body comes up, and I have a 90% hit rate now, maybe even higher, of lining it up and getting that person to pull that gun before the countdown starts, so that I can then turn to the audience and be like, and 3, 2, 1, and everybody just erupts into laughter. And then I get to bring it back to the very end, because at that point in time, I have 2 people on stage, one that's going to fire into the board, one that's going to fire into my body. I bring them right up to me, and we're doing both at the same time. So I'm holding the board, and there's a staple gun up to it. And then I take the other envelope and I put it up to my forehead, because my hands are holding the board. You can't staple into my hand. We're gonna just put as much attention to this as we can. And I think that, Carol, the anxiety, I think you were the one in that had the staple gun up to my head. And
bring her brown pants.
At that point in time, I get to kind of take this time out to be like, listen, guys, we're doing the countdown. We're going to do this together. And it's that kind of icing on the cake that just really
safety squints engaged, double up on the condoms, mom's on speed dial, because safety.
And honestly, one piece of advice that I'll give anybody that is new to performing and is really looking to make a go at it is be in the room. Pay attention to what's going on. Know if that person that's sitting right there in the front row is a nurse, because if you're doing a routine like that, you've got a brilliant callback to be like, excuse me, are you ready?
You got your meds?
Just in case, I know you're a nurse. I mean, you can just, you want to type 91 right now and we'll finish the rest if we need to. Find those moments, look for those things, because You're entertaining an audience. What you're doing up there, whether it's hypnosis, mentalism, juggling, I don't know that it matters as long as you're able to connect with that audience. And one of the greatest ways to connect with that audience is to tell them without telling them that you're there with them. They're not just paying attention to you, but you're paying attention to them. You're not just reading a script verbatim, trudging through until we get to the end of the hour, the 45 minutes or whatever it is. And those make the best routines, no matter how good the routine actually was, because you found a way to connect with that audience and really just be in the room with them.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break from the interview. So if anybody has questions or comments for Judge, we'll save those for after the hypnosis. We're going to jump into the hypnosis shortly. I also had a thought. If you wanted to, Judge, you could do and it's completely up to you. You can think about it. We've got a few minutes before we start the actual entertainment part or the hypnosis part. If you want to do a mentalism trick or whatever you call it, that would be fine too. So you can give it some thought. Folks, we're going to go one more. We're going to show you again. Take a look at what you're going to win. If you are the lucky winner tonight, we have brand new Damn I'm Pretty mugs. All you have to do is use the hashtag Hypnosis Hero in your comment, or you can just comment Hypnosis Hero. I do want to say, please take 1 minute now. You're probably on your phone right now. It's so easy. If you just look there, it's so easy to tap share. Share this. Please share it. Let other people find us. Really appreciate it when I look and I see that people have shared it. I always appreciate that. Okay, we're going to take a look at the mugs, and then we're going to do product spotlight. I'm super excited about this week's product spotlight, or this episode's. Where are we at? Are we seeing it? No, probably not. Let me see. Again, I wish Shawn could do this part too, but he can't because it's on my computer. Here we go. Damn I'm Pretty mugs. That's right. Black with red lettering or pink lettering, your choice. The winner will get this sent to them, and they can enjoy it at home.
Vinny already said he wanted the one with pink writing on it. And I know at least one or two people here that I work with that would absolutely love that pink one as well.
Fantastic.
So Shawn, are you playing for your coworkers and friends like via proxy?
No, because that would not be fair. I've already said Hypnosis Hero 3 times as much as everybody else.
Shawn plays by the rules. Plays by the rules, everybody. All right, so
I'm the captain. I make the rules.
Hey, Karen, it's got to be one word. It's hashtag Hypnosis Hero. That's the way they do hashtags. Go ahead and take a look at the link there. That's where you can find them. You'll also find the pineapple pizza attire and some other stuff too. Guys, Shawn, send everybody away for product spotlight, please. Product spotlight. Talk about this real quick. Hypnosis Hero, just so Jim doesn't win. I know I seem to win every single time, but of course, none of us on the show tonight can actually go and win. Although I will say, if you'd like to join us, Shawn's going to post a link. If you'd like to join us for some of the hypnosis, the mentalism, Shawn's going to share a link. You could jump in live with us, and that would be super cool. We'd love to have you join us. It's always more fun when we're actually looking at somebody when we're doing it. So I want to show you, check this baby out. I just got it. It's the iPhone 15. Unfortunately, it's not going to show up very good on here. iPhone 15. Because it's in black, and I'm in black too. And I want to tell you. So I'll show you a photo of it. You can grab it at your favorite on your favorite Amazon location. Hold on. If you head over to my store, you'll find it. I'm going to share the link right here. If I can find it. So many damn tabs here. So anyway, so the iPhone 15. Damn it! Now I just upgraded from the 12. I had the 12, so I was definitely in need of a new phone. So my phone had slowed down. It was not working very well. Um, there were some dents and cracks and things like this. And so I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'll tell you the main reason, the very main reason, is because of the satellite feature. I don't know if you guys know about this, but coming out in iPhone with iPhone 14, they did a new feature where if you are in an area where there's no cell service, you can still make calls and send texts to emergency medical services. And this is huge because if you're a hypnotist, like a comedy hypnotist like me, uh, you travel a lot. I see Lisa's watching. No, we're not giving away an iPhone. We're giving away a mug. Um, but use Hypnosis Hero hashtag if you want to win the mug. And Lisa and her partner Alan Sands, they travel all over the country. I've been out on the road and not able to get service because there's a lot of, it's weird. When I go to a place where there's no cell service, I get scared. And not just because I can't update Facebook, but and actually my wife and I broke down out several hours away from home in an area that was a dead zone, and we had to walk a bit. And then actually we had to hitchhike, and fortunately somebody picked us up and they didn't murder us. So that was the main reason. The other reasons, I mean, of course, every time they come out with a new one, the camera is phenomenal. It's just absolutely amazing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a hypnotist, need a good phone. I actually get a lot of my best clips. I do film them with my regular camera, but then my shows. But then I do short clips with my phone because it's a lot easier to upload. Going through and actually editing a video takes forever. And I oftentimes don't do it, but on my phone, I can get some quick clips. The other thing is I love that the battery lasts longer than the 12. And also it's got that new USB-C, the USB-C plug, which is handy because finally Apple has gotten on board and no more lightning. So all of our devices are going to work with the same stuff. So definitely go check that out. It's definitely worth it. So, and actually Lisa says, yeah, lots of places with no service. Worked in one town that didn't even have Wi-Fi. That's fantastic. So, I mean, really, this thing is, get it just for that feature alone. It's absolutely worth it. So anyway, we're going to wrap up the product spotlight and get right into some hypnosis, maybe some mentalism. No pressure. Shawn, bring everybody back on if you will. I almost started to do it myself. What was I thinking? Lisa's rocking an XR. The 15 XR. Okay, I got the regular 15 because it's small and that's really kind of all I need. Unless she's talking about the old one. Anyway, I prefer to look at someone when I don't know what that means, Scott. I'm scared. Dennis has one. Great. I don't know what I said that made Scott King say, I prefer to look at someone when I'm doing it, Jim. Okay. She just has the 10. Oh my God, Lisa, you got to upgrade. My goodness. Apple did not get on board. The EU mandated that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a thing. They were forced to do it. So Apple was forced. But anyway. All right, great. So, Judge, no pressure. Do you want to do some mentalism?
Hey, you put me on the spot, and it's kind of my style. So,
yeah.
I can tell you that I don't really...
In our defense, he did say he likes when stuff goes off the rails.
That's right.
So this very well might, because I don't have... I never did Zoom shows during lockdown and pandemic, so I don't have anything that's really set for that. But we're going to try, all right? We'll see if we can have some fun here. I need one of you that are on the screen, unfortunately, to be able to work with me on here. Do I have somebody that wants to volunteer? I might be able to make it work with Brian. I'm not quite sure. But Shawn would be fine if you want to be my my guinea pig here.
Shawn.
I can.
All right.
Fantastic.
Oh,
So
let's
I've
let's see
got,
let's see if Judge Mentalist can break through the Spock Schwartz.
Look, if he doesn't,
Listen,
I'm just
he already used one Star Trek reference, so I already know he's
I'm just
cool.
gonna
Yeah, see?
just gonna have to
That's
pull
a
this
Type
bad
1
boy out.
cricket phaser.
All right, so I've got a being on the road a lot. I end up just sitting in hotel rooms during the day, and just thinking random thoughts. Now, when I was a mentalist, this was literally just random thoughts. Now it's really me just trying to tool different potential hypnosis routines. But I've got this notebook that has a bunch of different random words in it, stuff that just were there jogging my mind. All right. What I'm going to do is I can see me. So hold on. Wait.
You could just cut your video.
Yeah, but then
Just
he
have
won't
the
see
audio.
what I'm going to show him. So
Oh, okay,
I was thinking that too. So hold on. This is really that much on the fly that I should have. Yep. Here we go. Blindfold here, just like what Jim's got at home, and
Mine's
all
pink.
right. So I'm going to flip through this, and Shawn, I just want you to tell me to stop. Okay.
Okay. Stop.
All right, right there.
Yep. There's good.
Okay. Now I can't see this. There should be some sort of normal word or phrase or something on there. Do you see it? Am I even lined up to the camera?
Yep. You're good.
Move your middle finger. There we go.
Okay.
Don't give Brian the middle finger.
Got it. Don't say it. I don't need this anymore. You have something that you're thinking of, right? I want you to just clear your mind. We're going to see if we can do this over Zoom. I'm going to have you try to project what you saw in image form, because I don't know if you're more of a visual or word type of guy, but I need the visual. So if you could project an image of what you saw there to me. Is it? This is an all ages show, right?
In theory,
This
we
isn't-
try to keep it at least rated
PG-13. Are you?
I don't see any of our viewers that suggest that they would be under the age of 18.
Okay. Is there
Shawn, what are
somebody?
you thinking of?
Listen, everybody else. All right, hold on. And maybe this is coming from the chat. I don't know, but can everybody just actually
I
clear
think
your
it's
mind?
Becca
Because I
actually
am
that's
getting,
talking about this.
I'm getting something that is not necessarily appropriate, and I'm pretty sure that these notebooks are filled with just random but not inappropriate thoughts.
Oh,
Are you
definitely
thinking
Becca.
something?
Definitely Becca.
Maybe it's maybe it's Becca. I don't know, but
Treat it like a Colin Chapman show. No, we have to keep our pants on.
It is feeling like a Colin Chapman show. No feces tonight, but all right. Please, everybody, stop. All right, I'm trying to pick up from Shawn and only from Shawn here, and you're. I'm still getting like this like licking motion. It's very like personal, like and it's like almost 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. So this is the time of day that maybe I'm thinking about this type of thing. I don't know. Oh, okay. I just got a little bit off, but the images are now coming together. What for the first time? I'm going to put my pen down here. What is it that you're thinking and trying to portray to me?
It is an ice cream cone.
An ice cream cone, which now totally makes sense as to why we were down here and I saw the V and we were licking. So there's a little something fun. It works out. It worked out obviously that time, but it's a lot better on stage. But yeah, fun stuff.
That's cool. Right on.
There's so many ways to just use that to introduce, reasonable doubt.
Becca's feeling bad because apparently we were making fun of her. So
she was thinking clean for once, Brian.
Broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it?
That's right.
Oh, story of my life.
Is it a military clock or just a regular clock?
No, regular clock, because
that was awesome. Hey, everybody, we're going to be doing the drawing at the end of the show. So please do leave the hashtag Hypnosis Hero. Again, please press that share button. I just saw last week. I was looking. 2 people had shared it. And I was like, yay! That really helps us get found. Obviously, we want more people watching. You're awesome. All of you, all 10,000 of you that are watching are awesome. But we'd like 10,003 if possible. Are you going to do any more mentalism, or are we going to jump into some hypnosis?
I have that was an adaptation of some stage stuff that I had my fingers crossed would work over
Cool.
this format.
So
I told you, you work with me and I make things work. That's
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
if we had Judge Mentalist put the blindfold on when we do the drawing, and then we get him to pick after the results are.
You get a bin of the names to come across that I can actually pull one out. That would be magic.
All right. Hey, guys, do we want to do a therapeutic or a fun with hypnosis type of thing tonight?
Oh, we need the fermentation version of hypnosis today.
The fermentation version?
Because
okay.
for whatever reason, technology is just epically failing me.
I'm sure it makes sense to you, Brian, but it doesn't make sense to me. The fermentation version.
Oh, we probably need something that's going to be more on the humorous, silly side.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought, but then I wasn't exactly sure. Hey, if you're watching at home, please don't watch while you are watch or listen. Mostly listen. Don't watch or listen while you're moving around, dancing, that kind of stuff. You might want to correct that one, Shawn.
So get in a comfortable position and make sure that you are out of range of furniture or small children. Make sure they're properly secured in a room somewhere. Yeah,
and if you're watching this later and you've got time to go grab some headphones or something, that's going to be even better for you. Yes, great. Shawn's got it. Excellent.
In the bathtub, but put a pin right here, hit pause, and then get comfortable after you're out of the bathtub.
Exactly.
Because we're not there to make sure that you're safe.
Yeah, and we get a lot of people that watch the show afterwards, and we even had we had a guy that told us that he sent a message, very kind. It's always nice when people send you a message, go out of their way to send you a message. He said he actually listens to the show on his way to work and back. Hopefully, not the hypnosis part, of course. Now Becca wants some vanilla ice cream, and we need something with ice cream. Oh, ice cream hypnosis. How can we do that, guys? Let's. There's some ways. Yeah, absolutely. Who wants to start off? I guess I will. All right, everybody at home.
I thought we were having Judge Mentalist do the hypnosis.
He's going to jump in a bit later. Perhaps. We don't want to put him on the spot too much. All right, so everyone just go and take a few relaxing breaths. Remember, don't do anything that you're not going to do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing. Only do what you're comfortable with. Again, if somebody wants to jump on, so we can actually see you while we do the hypnosis, that's kind of fun for us, kind of cool. There'll be a link in the chat you can find. So let's just do finger magnets. Everybody, go ahead and we've done this one before, but go ahead and everybody put your hands together like this, and then I want you to go ahead and pull your fingers apart. And I want you to just stare in between them and just notice what begins to happen. Just notice what happens as you begin to really think about how powerful that magnetic force is between your fingertips. In fact, I want you to imagine that in your fingertips, you've got magnets, and they're pulling and tugging, coming closer and closer together. And as soon as they come together, they become stuck, totally, completely stuck. In fact, the harder you try to pull them apart, the more stuck they become. The more stuck they become, totally, completely stuck. In fact, it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you laugh as you try to pull them and tug them apart. It's going to actually cause you to laugh, to giggle. You're not going to believe how powerful your imagination is. And then as they're stuck together, on the count of 5, they'll come apart and you will go into a very nice trance. On the count of 5, when I count from 1 to 5, just let those fingertips come apart and you'll just drift into a light, comfortable trance. So 1, just noticing now how they start, those fingers, those hands start to drift down towards your lap, your stomach, just drifting down. 2, feeling really good, noticing how powerful the imagination is. 3, as they drift comfortably down, you begin to feel yourself going a little bit deeper into relaxation. 4, waves of relaxation traveling from those hands all the way through your body. And 5, sleep all the way down, relaxing, collapsing, going deeper and deeper with every breath that you take, all the way down, all the way down. Good, just like that. Just like that. And as you're resting comfortably, you may find that you can go even deeper now into trance. I want you to just imagine, if you will, that there's a set of 3 stairs in front of you. And it's okay if you can't imagine things as well as you'd like, because you can just pretend. So there you are, and you're looking down, and they're your favorite kind of stairs. Maybe they're carpeted, maybe they're made of wood. And as you walk down those stairs, you're going to find yourself going deeper and deeper into trance, feeling so good, so wonderful. Going down to that 2nd step, feeling so good, so wonderful. In fact, going 10 times deeper now. 10 times deeper into relaxation, feeling so wonderful, so good. Excellent. And now when you step down to that next step, you're going to double that relaxation. You're going to double that relaxation. You're going to double that relaxation, stepping down, sleep now, relaxing, collapsing, going all the way down to a deep and wonderful state of trance. Now in a moment, I'm going to bring you back up from that trance. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. The moment I say 3, your eyes will pop open. You'll feel rested, refreshed, revitalized. If you want to, if you'd like to go to sleep right now and just relax comfortably, you can certainly do that as well. But even after I say 3, you're going to find that every time any of us say the word hypnosis for the rest of this show, that your nose gets itchy. It starts to itch. It gets really itchy, and it feels like maybe there's an ant trying to crawl around, trying to go up in your nose, and it's just driving you crazy. In fact, you might even start to feel that now as I say hypnosis. Hypnosis. Feeling really weird, really uncomfortable, but not too uncomfortable, just kind of unpleasant. So now as I say 1, you start to make the journey back, getting ready to join us again. 2, feeling so good, so wonderful, so impressed with your imagination. 3, all the way back now, feeling rested, refreshed, revitalized, or just going into a deep and comfortable sleep, really enjoying the effects of hypnosis. All right, everybody, if you're watching live right now, or if you're watching later, go ahead and put a comment down there. What was that experience like for you? We always want your honest feedback. We never want any fakers. So let us know if you felt like you were going into a nice light state of trance. Maybe you went into a deep trance. Maybe you just felt a little bit relaxed. Maybe you started giggling and laughing, and maybe the hypnosis caused you to do things that you didn't necessarily know that you were going to do. Jim, you like to see them while you do it. All right. Yes. Apparently it was a comment from something I said before. So let us know, Becca, everybody who's watching, if you'd like, just go ahead and put a comment down there. And of course, tag it with hashtag Hypnosis Hero. Hypnosis Hero. Tag your comments. Guys, you guys want to jump in and do something now? Shawn, Brian?
I'm still trying to solve this stuff and sort it out.
What are you trying to solve there?
What's that, Brian?
So on my laptop, for whatever reason, Google Chrome isn't working, and the laptop has the webcam. So I'm trying to delete everything out, reinstall it. It doesn't want to reinstall but everything, so I'm still trying to work that problem.
Okay, no sweat. Shawn, do you want to do something? Or you want me to do some more?
Well, why don't you start and I'll jump in, because I can use hypnosis and create that wonderful ice cream cone.
Oh, I like that. So I'll start and you'll jump in. That's just what she said. All right, get ready. Okay.
I don't even want to know.
It was Jim that was giving us the inappropriate thoughts. Now I know.
I mean, that came out of left field. I was kind of like, okay, I mean, working. Then it was like, yeah, you get started. I'll jump in. And so that's what she said. I'm like, I have questions that I don't know that I want the answer to.
So Becca says she feels like she went a little bit deeper. That's what she said. Let's see. Always makes me laugh when I can't separate my fingers. LOL. Fantastic. All right. So this will be fun. Let's go ahead and use what we have available to us. I want you to just go ahead and in a moment, I'm going to show you my phone, and you're going to find that you're going to focus on that phone. And I want you to just allow yourself to let your eyes close and become so relaxed that you feel more relaxed than you felt in a very, very long time. Now, before I do that, I want you to open your eyes nice and wide. In fact, I want you to roll your eyes up as if you're trying to look at your eyebrows. Try to look at your eyebrows if you can. Hold them there for a moment. Good. Hold them up there and then just let them close. Good. And now, again, open them up nice and wide. Look at your eyebrows and sleep. Open up nice and wide and sleep. Good. And now, as you look at the light, if we can make that happen. As you look at the light, I want you to just notice how bright it is or not. Notice what you notice. Stare at that light. In fact, I want you to stare at that light for as long as you can. Keep your eyes open wide, and it might get a little bit difficult. It might be a little bit challenging. That's okay. Just keep staring at that light. Just staring at that light. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to 1, you can just close your eyes. 3, eyes burning, itching. 2, maybe even watering a little bit. And 3, just close those eyes down and start the magical process of just letting go now. Just letting go. Good. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to begin counting down. Now, you can count down in your mind or out loud. I want you to count down from 100. And after every number, I want you to say the words deeper relaxed. And as you say each number, double the relaxation that you're feeling. You're going to become so relaxed that by the time you get down to about 96 or 97, all those numbers just disappear. They vanish. They completely, totally gone. It's going to sound like this: 100. Deeper relaxed. 99. Deeper relaxed. And so you can begin counting now. I'll help you at first. 100. Deeper relaxed. 99. Deeper relaxed. And then just let those numbers go. You can't be bothered to think about numbers anymore. Let all those numbers just drift and fade as you find yourself going into a wonderful deep state of hypnosis. Good. Any remaining numbers just gone right out of your mind. Right out of your mind now. Gone deeper and deeper into relaxation and sleep. All the way down, relaxing, collapsing, noticing waves of relaxation. Feel them flowing through your body from the top of your head down to the bottoms of your feet and the tips of your fingers as you go all the way down. And as you hear my voice or Shawn's voice or Joe Beth or Brian's voice, you're going to find yourself compelled to follow our instructions because it feels good to follow our instructions. You know that we're here to protect you, to guide you, to direct you. And so it feels so good to just follow our instructions because the sound of our voices compel you to follow our instructions. Good.
And as you continue relaxing in your mind, you're going to picture a nice summer day. It might be a summer day in the future. It might be a summer day in your past. But it is summer. The sun is shining. And it's a wonderful day. It's a hot day. It's a day for ice cream. That's right. Now I want you to picture you buying from the ice cream stand your favorite ice cream cone. But it's not just a very small little ice cream cone. It's a really big ice cream cone because it's getting a little bit hot outside. And so what happens when you get all that wonderful ice cream piled on just as high as they can pile it? The biggest ice cream cone that you've ever seen. What happens when it meets the heat of the warm day, of the hot day? I want you now to just picture that ice cream cone and start licking because it's melting. And as it melts faster and faster, you need to be able to lick faster and faster. So go ahead and lick that ice cream cone. Make sure you don't get any drips. If it starts dripping down your arm, make sure you lick your arm so that it doesn't get sticky because you don't want to have a sticky arm. That's right. Faster and faster. It's melting. You're going as fast as you can. Just ingest that. Inhale it if you have to, but just get that ice cream so that before it melts. And as you do that, you'll find that any last little bits will melt into that cone. And it could be a waffle cone. It could be a regular cone. Whatever cone works for you. But you can munch that cone safely, comfortably, and be satisfied with that wonderfully large ice cream cone. And you can be proud of yourself because you got it before it melted all over the place and all over your arm. You may have a little sticky around your hands if you need to lick your fingers. Go ahead and do that now. But it was the biggest, tastiest, yummiest ice cream cone ever. And once you're all done, you can let out a nice big sigh, take a nice deep breath,
and then begin to realize that it's so hot out that you decide to take some of that leftover ice cream and smear it all over your face. You smear it all over your face and behind your neck where it gets really, really hot. It's because your head and your neck just feels so hot right now. You rub it on your arms. It feels sticky, but you know you got to do it because you just got to, it's just so hot. You want to cool off as much as possible. And you're going to find that even when you come out of hypnosis in just a few moments, you're still going to feel sticky. It's going to feel really weird. Like you're going to feel like it's still on you, even though you'll be completely out of hypnosis. It's going to feel sticky, and it's going to feel sticky like that until you say the word hypnosis. And as soon as you say that word, hypnosis, then you won't feel sticky anymore. You'll feel cool, refreshed. You'll feel really good. And it'll feel like you had the biggest ice cream cone, and it was even better because there were no calories. There was no sugar. You got to enjoy that ice cream cone without any of the drawbacks. And I want you to think of something in your mind. If you like ice cream, I want you to think of something that's going to symbolize that ice cream. It could be a word, it could be ice cream cone, or it could be the image that the judge had drawn. Could be something completely unrelated. And you're going to find that anytime that you're having a craving for something sweet, something delicious, maybe it's ice cream or something else, but you feel like you should avoid it, and only if you feel like you need to avoid it, you'll be able to recall that image, that symbol, that word, and it's going to feel like you've eaten that dessert, that delicious thing, whether it's ice cream or cheesecake or something else. It's going to change your life because you're going to find that you can easily resist any of those sugary foods if you want, if you'd like to, because all you have to do is recall that memory, and you're going to feel like you actually enjoyed that dessert. And you're going to feel compelled to message one of us and tell us what kind of an impact that's made in your life. Good. You're going to message myself or Shawn or Brian. You're going to say how it impacted your life by being able to just imagine any kind of dessert that you'd like, anytime you'd want, and it feels like, it tastes like, it seems like you actually had that dessert. Good. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. We're going to bring you all the way back. Remember that all you have to do to get that sticky feeling out of there and to get the feeling of that thing crawling in your nose is just say the word hypnosis. You just say it out loud. You can whisper it. You can shout it, whatever you'd like. All you got to do is do that when you come out of hypnosis. So now as I say 1, you start to make that journey back. 2, feeling really, really awesome. If this is a time for sleep, you can just drift into sleep. If it's time to be wide awake, you can find yourself wide awake and alert. 3, feeling more confident, feeling better about yourself, your life, and choices that you can make. 4, maybe you're stretching, moving a little bit. 5, all the way back now, feeling rested, refreshed, revitalized, or drifting into a deep, relaxing sleep. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. All right, please there, if you're over in the comments, let us know. Let us know whether you're watching live or later. Let us know what that experience was like. Hey, if nothing happened for you, just tell us. Hey, nothing happened. That's cool. No problem. What we're doing tonight is what we're calling fun with hypnosis. Sometimes it's the stage hypnosis stuff. It's street hypnosis stuff. Not everybody's going to be able to get that kind of same experience in a short amount of time. You know, you're there at home or something. Whereas in hypnotherapy, you have a much higher likelihood. Every single person can be hypnotized. Some people are really good at being hypnotized, like out in the middle of the street or up on stage or over Zoom. And some of them really need that one-on-one attention to achieve their goals with something more customized to them. So you're one of the two. All right. Good to know.
Be something like a waffle cone or you know, I've even seen them where they will use a pancake or something like that as the cone. Nice. We get really inventive here in Canada, and we seal it with some maple syrup and
throw some pineapple on top.
No, we don't allow that.
Becca says she could literally taste it. Brian, she is such a good subject. And Scott says, I have to side with Brian on this one. Well, anyway, demonetized. Brian, trying to make money here. Come on, at some point.
Oh, Jim, there are places in Seattle that you could just do that description, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Brian, I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do, because I love you, man. I'm going to give you all of those gigs. You are welcome to go to all those gigs and get those done. Hey, any other final thoughts, Judge, Shawn, Brian?
I already went to the doctor, Jim.
I don't even know what that means, Brian, because I don't even.
One thing I will say, and it's come up as a recurring theme in my Sunday morning lives on TikTok, and that's the fact that as a community, we don't often promote ourselves enough so that there is enough knowledge out there. So, we have to educate our clients and then try and book them once we educate them. So the more that we can do that as a community, the easier it's going to be for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about. We can get rid of some of these myths and stuff. I don't like being sticky though, and the nose itchy thing. I know my nose is itchy now. So Lisa says Brian probably won't eat ice cream anymore, or he'll eat a lot of it. Brian's scarred for life. I think I'm scarred for life. What are you guys talking about? I don't even know where you guys people are going with these things. Anyway,
Jim, I want you to play this back and listen to it.
I'm afraid to.
It's like I was just dealing with an ice cream cone. Where it went from there.
I mean, granted, I've had conversations with people where they say stuff, and I go, "Oh, okay, I want you to hang up. I want you to call me right back, and I'm gonna call you. You let it go to voicemail. I'm gonna tell you word for word and recite what you just said, and I want you to play it back and listen to it, because I don't think that you heard it when it was coming out of your mouth."
Or, they heard it with a certain filter, and you're hearing it with another filter, Brian.
Oh, no, there is no filter. I think that's the problem.
True. All right.
Speaking of hashtags.
And here we are, full circle.